Jai Gurudev, everyone. So, we have had a discussion about Kali Yuga. If we are in the Kali Yuga, if we are in Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, or in Satya Yuga. Okay, so let me break down a little bit um, so you can have a deeper understanding of the cycles and how you can apply it in your life for the best way for you. Okay, so around 5,000 years ago, when Krishna left the earth plane, exactly when he left the earth plane, Kali Yuga started. And that was the time of Dwapara Yuga. So there are four different yugas. There is Kali Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Satya Yuga. So we can imagine it like this. So Satya Yuga is like a bottle full with milk. Treta Yuga is like a bottle of 75% milk, 25% water. Dwapara Yoga is 50% milk and 50% water. Kali Yuga is 25% milk, 75% water. Okay? So the Kali Yuga is called the time of darkness. And we also has darkness inside of us. And we also have light inside of us, right? So we always go from Kali Yuga to Dwapara Yuga to Treta Yuga to Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. We cannot go from Kali Yuga into Satya Yuga right away. And I see some people talking on the internet. We're going from Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga. No. No, no. It's deceiving people. It's dangerous. Not good for the karma. So we have to be very sincere when we are sharing those kinds of information, because if we guide people, we cannot guide people in the wrong way, because people need to take responsibility. Everyone's karma cannot just disappear. That's why we are here, to play out our desires, to play out all the karmic imprints that we have accumulated through many, 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 many lifetimes. That's why we're here, to live that, to live our dharma, and to find God. It's that simple. Karma, dharma, and find God. So we have something called prakriti. That's nature. And out of nature comes the three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Kali Yuga is tamas. Sloth, inertia, depression, how you want to call it in those terms, bad vibrations, low vibrations. When you feel low, when you are lazy, right? That's Kali Yuga. That means that you can have Kali Yuga inside of you right now. Okay? So if you have a lot of tamasic qualities, that means you are in Kali Yuga, You understand? And let's say you have a lot of sattvic qualities. Let's say you have a lot of sattvic qualities and rajasic qualities a little bit. Then you are in Treta Yuga. If you only have like sattvic energy and you are like very, very lightened, like no one is, it's very few, then you're in Satya Yuga. Okay? So that means that you can be in Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, in between, in Kali Yuga. So they exist within each cycle. Okay? So we have been blessed with spiritual practices. We have been blessed with mantra. So mantra is the tool to use during Kali Yuga to help us go from Kali Yuga into Satya Yuga within ourselves. Okay? So when we are in this darkness within ourselves, that means that the mind is very, very present. The mind has become the master. So we have a servant that's serving the master, right? But here we are in a situation where the servant has become the master. The servant has deceived the master to follow the dictation into delusion, because the mind cannot give you full truth. The mind can give you a proximity of the truth, a little bit. And when influenced by the ego, you're out, but you think you're in. That's the thing. So, when we are in Kali Yuga, we have been blessed by having easier access to God through mantra. He has made himself more available to us if we do the inner practice. And mantra is a great tool. The scriptures is a great tool. Singing bhajans, bhakti, singing with devotion is a great tool. Meditation is a great tool. So everything that helps us to make the mind the servant. Because if the mind becomes the master, we cannot get out of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga also has over 420,000 years left. Okay? So there is a long cycle before we go back to Dwapara Yuga. And there is some talking about this, because if we look at the holy science by Sri Yukteswar, Yogananda's master, he did another calculation when he actually said that we are in Dwapara Yuga. So this is a little bit contradiction, and what I'm talking about is teachings that I got from my master, Paramahamsa Vishwananda. So there are a lot of videos when he's talking about this, that actually we can create the different yugas within ourselves. So to conclude this, is what I want to say here is that we have to take responsibility for our growth, for our actions. Because every action that you have done, this life or before, is your responsibility. It's not some time or consciousness or sunstorm that's just gonna eliminate that. You have to learn from those karmas. You have to clear those karmas until you can move on. Our master was once asked, what is spirituality? And he said, when there is a transformation of mind, when we change the mind. Very often we don't change the mind. We may change the outside and we think we look holy and everything, but the mind is the same. We are not changing the mind. So if we are not changing the mind, how are you going to change your life? How are you going to change your perspective of how you see things? So if we can come into a place where we become the master, where the mind becomes the servant, then we're going to find more happiness, more peace, more joy. But we have to take responsibility, and this is very, very important. To take responsibility for your actions, because the actions gives an imprint into the subtle body, into the subconscious, and one day that is going to come back to you. No matter if you did a good thing, you accumulate a good karma or a bad karma, so to say, it's going to come back sooner or later, because it becomes an imprint in the subconscious field before it takes place in the physical. This is how it works, because there is always an reaction to action. Speech, thought, and action. Those three dimensions we have to master. You have to master your speech, what you're saying, how you're saying things, the thoughts, and your actions. Because a thought is also an action, a thought is also karma. So when you repeat the Lord's name, the name of God in any form, you are tuning in your mind in to become attached to the mantra, to that vibration of God, instead of the vibration of your imprints of the mind and the ego. So, I hope this can give some clarification and some help in understanding the yugas, and we don't cling so much to them, right? We should not be attached to anything. We should just do our best, be sincere, and do everything we can to find God in our hearts every day. If we cling too much to a time or to this and to that, we're gonna become attached and we're gonna lose our inner drive to really take responsibility ourselves. Okay, so much love to everyone. Yeah, you can comment, like, and share if you feel for it. Much love. Check it out.